Have you ever felt the sting of someone suddenly turning cold toward you, like a friend, a coworker, or even a family member, without any clear reason? One day, you're close. The next, you're an outsider. The silence is sharp, the rejection baffling. But what if the hate isn't truly about you? What if it's a mirror of their internal battle, a reaction to your growth that they cannot understand, let alone accept? Carl Jung's revolutionary insights into human psychology offer a powerful lens through which we can see these situations not as personal failings, but as proof of personal evolution. When you begin to change, when you start saying no to mistreatment, standing taller, pursuing what matters to you, something unsettling happens to those around you. You shine a light they can't escape. Your confidence exposes their self-doubt. Your boundaries confront their inability to say no. Your authenticity reminds them of the mask they've worn too long. Jung called this the shadow, the hidden part of the psyche filled with traits we deny or reject in ourselves. Most people refuse to confront it. So instead, they project it onto you. That hostility you feel, it's their shadow, not your reflection. Imagine Anna, a marketing assistant, who climbed the ladder to a leadership role. Once admired for her kindness, she found herself the target of subtle gossip and cold dismissals from a colleague. Lisa, but Anna hadn't wronged Lisa. She had merely outgrown the version of herself that once kept everyone comfortable. Lisa, feeling threatened by her own stagnation and unacknowledged ambition, projected her insecurities onto Anna. It wasn't Anna's success that bred resentment. It was Lisa's fear of facing her own unfulfilled potential. Carl Jung's concept of projection is like a psychological defense mechanism. People attribute to others the feelings they can't handle in themselves. Once you recognize this dynamic, you stop taking it personally. You understand that people often attack in others what they cannot accept in themselves. It's liberating to see that their aggression isn't about your actions, but about their inner wounds. By embracing your shadow through conscious reflection, through journaling, introspection, or therapy, you reduce the power others' projections have over you. Emotional resilience isn't built by avoiding conflict. It's built by understanding its origin, but it goes even deeper. Jung also introduced the idea of the persona, the social mask we wear to survive in our environments. Whether it's the role of the quiet one, the caretaker, or the fixer, we often become trapped in these roles until one day, we start shedding them. That's when others feel betrayed. You're not playing their game anymore. When Mo, a dependable accountant, started prioritizing himself, he was accused of being selfish. Yet what he was truly doing was evolving, no longer living for the expectations of others, but for his own truth. The resistance he faced wasn't a sign of failure. It was a confirmation of change. And when you commit to this change fully, you enter what Jung called the process of individuation, becoming your whole, authentic self. This is the most courageous journey of all, one that often comes with pain. People close to you, bound by tradition or unspoken rules, may see your growth as a threat. Sarah, a single mother, chose therapy, started a business, and said no to her family's endless demands. They accused her of abandoning them. But Sarah wasn't abandoning anyone. She was saving herself. The deeper truth is this: your transformation challenges the status quo. When you stop being who others want you to be, you shake the foundation of their identities too. That's not a betrayal. That's bravery. Individuation is not about becoming someone new, it's about finally becoming who you really are. And yes, it often invites pushback, but that pushback is proof you're evolving. Jung also warned about a greater collective resistance, the collective unconscious. These are the inherited patterns and roles passed down through families, cultures, and systems. When you defy them, when you challenge generational trauma, reject toxic workplace culture, or follow your own passion, you don't just rattle individuals, you rattle the system. David, who left his stable job to follow his entrepreneurial dreams, didn't just face criticism from family. He faced the disapproval of an entire worldview based on security and predictability. He was no longer following the silent script, and that made him dangerous in the eyes of those who conformed. This resistance doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're breaking free. The more pressure you feel to conform, the greater the confirmation that your growth matters. Recognize the systems trying to pull you back, and then choose, consciously, who you want to be. Your new identity is not a rebellion, it's a declaration. The system will try to label you selfish, rebellious, even delusional, but their fear is not your failure, it's your badge of honor. Then comes the final breakthrough, the transcendent function. Jung described it as the integration of opposite strength and softness, love and boundaries, power and compassion. It's what makes you whole, and therefore, unshakable. When Emma, an artist, learned to say no without guilt, balancing kindness with assertiveness, people didn't know how to respond. She was no longer easily boxed into roles. That made her a mirror reflecting their imbalance. People fear what they can't categorize when you no longer play by their binary rules. When you hold both light and shadow with grace, you become powerful. And power, real power, terrifies the unhealed. They'll resist, they'll criticize, but none of it can touch you when you're grounded in inner truth. So, what now? Now you rise, you journal your shadows, you redefine your mask, you keep walking your path even as others throw stones. You use their fear as fuel, because every time someone says, "You've changed," you smile. Yes, you have. And that's the point. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Don't let anyone take that privilege from you, not their silence, not their rejection, not even their hate. If anything, their resistance is your proof. Proof that you're growing, that you're healing, that you're finally living, not for them, but for you. Keep shining, keep transforming, and remember, the war they wage against your growth isn't yours to fight, it's theirs to face.